Hey everyone, my name is Mig from Mig Creates Games, and for those that don't know me, I am a indie solo developer, and I've been making games for about 7 or 8 years now. I actually just wanted to let you guys know the reason for this video is I've been learning a lot from game development, and I want to talk to you about if you really need to learn everything when it comes to solo game development, and what actually are the important things you need to learn. So for you guys that don't really know me that well, I've been doing game development for a while. I started as just a regular programmer. I have more experience as doing programming. Started with C Sharp, started with doing some stuff with SQL, and also some Java applications that I've done in the past. So when I got into game development, originally I only wanted to do coding. So coding was going to be my strength, and really that's all I wanted to do. From there, then I started realizing game development is a lot more than just coding. There's arts, there's music, there's a lot of creativity when it comes to game development. And really, the reason why I wanted to learn more things is because I wanted the challenge. I wanted to learn different things. So originally, I started with just regular 2D, right? I started getting open up MS Paint, just doing simple box objects, and then I kind of like develop and evolve from there. I started getting into Sprite, started learning more about animation, how to do different 2D, and really getting into it, like getting the nitty gritty stuff, like learning more about the art process, like what are lights, what are shadows, that sort of thing. Um, and really, the process was for me to evolve and become a better actual solo developer, where really it was just me doing everything. Originally, I wanted to do streaming and YouTube as kind of like just to get, marketing, right? Originally, just to get people to notice me and say, oh, yeah, that guy make great games. Yeah, I know his games. That sort of thing I wanted to do. I never really thought about getting kind of like so many, building a community, having people kind of back me up and motivate me, and also helping out people into getting into the game development as either an artist or as a coder or as a creative person. So really my thought originally was just do one game and then that's it, really. I never really thought about getting into game jams until I started doing game jams. So game jams are a great process if you want to get into game development. I know a lot of people just don't want to do it because they have their dream game and they don't want to go out of scope and they don't want to like move out of the way or do whatever they need to do. And that's fine. I understand that. You should always follow your dream game and you should always do what you're motivated to do. In my case, I started as just more of as a challenge, right? And a learning process. Like how is it to finish a game? How do you complete it? How do you do this? How do you get viewers? How do you get feedback and that sort of thing? So originally for me, I just wanted to learn everything about game development. And really that's the main topic of today and is how do you learn it or how would you want to learn so much with game development? It technically is impossible to learn everything, right? But there's always new things. Like there's different engines, right? You can say, oh, I just only want to learn Unity, but there's so many other game engines you can learn from, Unreal, Godot, right? There's tons of great game engines that you can use. But you want to stick to one thing at least and learn a few things from others. And really, that's kind of like I want to be more of a generalist where I'm not really so much as a specialist, trying to do everything and trying to be just that one narrow minded area. Kind of want to be able to learn a little bit from everything and be good at it. And then say later on, I want to hire somebody. Say I want to hire an artist or I want to hire, maybe an Unreal programmer, right? I know Unity is more my strength. Or maybe I want to do something with Unreal. I can hire someone that does Unreal. But at least I will know how to get started in the process of doing Unreal, right? And really, that's a part about learning in game development is just learning enough that you know how to do things, the general stuff, and be good at it, right? But not be a specialist at it. Now, if you want to be a specialist, that's fine. But I would still say and recommend that you learn all the nitty gritty stuff. You learn the animation. Maybe how about if you're a sound guy, you want to learn more about coding, or you want to learn about arts, right? You can implement those sort of things into your sound or portfolio, I guess you can call it, so that in case if you do something happens, let's say AI comes in, right, and it takes over all the art stuff. It could happen. I know 3D modeling isn't as great when it comes to AI, but it could happen. But at least now you have coding background, you have a music background, you have a different background where you can kind of like fall back on, and that makes you irreplaceable. And I think this era of, wanting to learn, it's really important. Because then if AI or somebody better or something happens, comes up, then you really are indispensable. You really can just say, okay, well, no problem, right? I mean, maybe there's somebody, some art stuff that might have been taken over by somebody else, but I can do this or I can do that, right? And then that's really what it comes to being versatile. It's about being someone that you can easily rely on, and in case of a disaster happens or something crazy happens, you can always shift into another area of learning experience when it comes to game development. For me, I enjoy the challenge. So I would say do challenge yourself often. I know in my case, I enjoy challenging myself. I'm always like learning new things. Like right now, this year in 2024, I started learning Blender. And I have to tell you, Blender isn't easy. I honestly, well, really didn't think I could learn Blender. 3D modeling is not as easy as you think. There's many shortcuts to Blender, and then there's many things you can need to learn them. But as a beginner, I'm learning it really well, and I'm doing pretty good modeling on it. Also learning about the rigging part, which actually no way I thought I can learn, but I'm learning it really well, and I'm able to use my own assets, which is kind of like also the unique aspect of it about learning your own things about game development is you can implement your own art, your own creativity. It doesn't have to be something where you buy from an asset store, or you don't have to rely on maybe somebody that might be taking too long, or you can always also hire somebody, but you can explain to them the process that you need, what kind of topology, what kind of rigging, what kind of process, and that way it's easier to understand. You don't have to kind of like have them guess what you mean when you're kind of pretty good specialist yourself. Really, that's really important about game development and really solo development. You can learn, you can do everything yourself, and even have a full-time job. Because I know in my case, I have a full-time job. I do work from the number of 9 to 5 job, and I still have time, at least 3 hours a day, to get something done with game development. I'm either doing Blender, coding, animation, or doing something with sound, or doing whatever it is to get a game ready and done. And often every month, I always challenge myself to do a game jam or something like that, so I can kind of like keep in pace with the advanced technology as it's going. Right, Unity is doing all kinds of new things, and it's always upgrading. It's doing different areas where it could be different technology, or it could be with Unity 6, and there could be other things that come up. And it's the same with other game engines. It's good to learn just the basics, just enough that you can say, okay, at least I know how to do this. And in case something were to happen with Unity or Unreal or Godot, whatever it may be, you can always switch back. You can always move into different areas. So it's kind of good to be an expert, but also don't just rely on one area to be good at. Know what you can benefit from, kind of like don't lean back too much, or don't rely on too much on one thing. Be kind of like that specialist, and that will make you irreplaceable. And it's the same with your career. Say you do work in maybe in a company or whatever it may be, whatever game development company, or it could be any company in general. Don't just learn what you need to do. Learn also the other aspects of the company that you're working for. Be that may, it could be a game studio, a AAA studio, right? If your job is only to code the inventory system, then be outside of that. Learn the player, learn the rigging, learn the aspect of when it comes to gaming, and it goes to any careers, right? Don't just be a pencil pusher, kind of like a box pusher, right? Don't just load boxes. Don't just do this. Be wanting to learn to do different things. Don't think about it as, oh, I'm just gonna do whatever I'm told. No, try to learn different things because it will benefit you more than it will benefit others, right? Think about it that way. Think about how you can benefit yourself and not so much others, and how well you will be versatile and irreplaceable in that sense. And really, that's all I have for when it comes to game development and solo development. Hopefully, this video motivates you guys to start doing more different things. Keep learning. That's the best advice. Just for me saying this, it really is a good advice. Just keep learning. Always try different things and never stop. All right. And if you feel like you don't have motivated, just go into the community, talk to people, say, hey, how do you do this? Or how can I become better? How do you challenge yourself, right? How do you get that into that plateau where you can just lever off and become a stronger developer. And actually, that's all I have for game development. Hopefully, I'll be doing more YouTube videos and more stuff like this. And thank you guys, appreciate it, and continue the journey to game development.